Oh, hello there. Yes, well, good grief. It is still bleeding cold. I am not looking forward to a trip up north next weekend. It's usually grim. Yes, anyway, speaking of grim things, well, no, not at all, actually, speaking of joyful things, it was amusing yesterday to watch, the American right fall apart and decide to, have a go at each other. On one side, you've got Steve Bannon, who is very, 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 very unhappy with the notion that we might let some brown people in. On the other side, we've got, Elon Musk and his mates, who are very, very unhappy with the idea that apparently the racists don't seem to understand that race isn't vitally important. Kind of odd, realistically, because Elon Musk, of course, is a man that does earnestly seem to believe in an awful lot of the racist stuff that comes out. Or could that just be to get his man elected? Hard to tell, really, actually. He being the autistic type that he is, he struggles with the notion of friendship, so he'll say anything to anybody, which might well mean that various chickens will come home to roost with him. But it'll be an intriguing one to watch, that particular one. The problem, of course, with most of the right-wingers is you can never be too pure. Always, always, always a huge problem, and one that we might well be getting here, because yesterday there was a similar sort of spat in our own particular way between the Conservative Party and the Reform Party. Yes, Nigel Farage decided to have a go at Kemi Badenoch and vice versa. Nigel Farage, man of the people that he is, having finished with his Boxing Day hunting jaunt, decided to give an interview to the Daily Telegraph. Yes, I'm not quite sure if it was before or after his black tie event, but nothing says man of the people like fox hunting, black tie event, and, basically saying that you're going to take somebody to court because they said rude things to you, because after all you can just afford to, can't you? Yes, well, that's what you get with all of those members at 25 quid a head, and I've noticed today charging them to go to conference as well. Anyway, to the meat of the matter, one might say, Farage gave a interview in the Telegraph, which was, had some intriguing things in it, so let's unpack some of that. Musk will help Reform to beat Tories. Reform leader says tech billionaires a huge role in connecting young people to the party. Now, Farage does have a particular history about this, because he's always claiming that whenever he meets somebody who's 14, that kind of gushes a bit over him. Those people that would normally be young conservatives 10 years ago, but now they're attracted to the allure, the dangerous allure, rebellion, that is the Reform Party. He earnestly convinces himself that this is somehow a new wave of people. So let's unpack exactly what he said about that. Elon Musk will help Reform UK win over younger voters because he's an absolute hero figure to them, Nigel Farage has said. In an interview with The Telegraph, which I'm reading from, Mr Farage, the Reform leader, said Mr Musk was a huge help in connecting young people with the party. He added it would only win the next election if it got the youth vote. He said the US billionaire's plan to drastically reduce the size of the US state would absolutely serve as a model of the Reform government. Good, because I am very, very, very much looking forward to, if he gets as far as that, Elon Musk making huge cuts in to Americans' welfare program. And we'll look on with bated breath and see how well that goes. Farage will then, of course, complain bitterly that it's been done wrong. It's a bit like it's being done wrong in Argentina, yeah. Roughly half the population of Argentina are now below the poverty line. Still, they've managed to tackle inflation, so it's a price well worth paying, isn't it? Yes. Anyway, moving on from rightness and wrongness, I thought, I don't believe a word of that, because the actual number of young people that voted for Reform at the last election was very low in real terms, should we say. Overall, those people that would otherwise be expected to vote Conservative voted Reform. Basically, the young Tory vote is going there. But YouGov, over the last couple of years, basically, have done a tracker on the popularity of Elon Musk. It's one of those things that they ask people on a regular basis. And the headline figure overall is this one. Basically, he's disliked by 50% of people. Now, it's worthwhile unpacking that one, okay? Bearing in mind all the wonderful, definitely true things that man of the people, fox hunting Farage has said. Because when you actually look at the figures for the latest one, which came out in November, so it's reasonably accurate, what we find is that basically the only people that have a positive opinion, only people that have a positive opinion, and by that I mean not a grossly negative one, is reform voters. And when you unpack the figures, you discover that basically women can't stand him, and basically people under 40 can't stand him as well, because young people, according to this, 18 and above, basically have a very, 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 very unfavourable opinion of Elon Musk. And I can't see where Nigel Farage has got that from. Well, it doesn't really matter, does it? Because, of course, the mere fact that he says these things means that all his mates in GB News are going to basically go, oh, yeah, it's definitely a thing, isn't it? And they will find somebody somewhere who's under the age of 25 who will go on TV and agree with them. And magically, that will be exactly what reality is. But you and I and even Nigel know that that's big porkies. Still, that doesn't matter, does it? Because after all, it doesn't matter, does it? Whatever Mr. Farage does, it can do no wrong. And he's always right, even when he's wrong. And he's always not lying, even when he's lying. So it's no wonder that Kemi Badenoch called him out. Still, that's just me enjoying the spectacle of these people having a go at each other, because after all, we're not allowed to, and the media don't want to, so it's up to them to actually rip each other apart. And long may it continue, and long may Nigel Farage, may he go into 2025 with all of the economic and political success that he's had so far, and long may his surgeries, if he ever has one, in Clacton go well. Anyway, do have a glorious day. Stay warm. It's too cold. It's not fun. It's not fun. I need, well, a bit more sun, to be quite honest. Yes. Enjoy, if you can.